87.94. 87.94. 38.80 heifer, 38.80 on a heifer. Right hand with about 1,000. Everybody get about 1,000. Everybody get 1,000. 1,000. Everybody get 1,000. Everybody get 1,000. Everybody get 800. Everybody get 8. Everybody get 8. Everybody get 8. Everybody get 8. 6. That's 6. Everybody on 6. Everybody get 6. Everybody get 6. Everybody get 6. Everybody get 5. Everybody on 5. Everybody on 5. 5 quarter. 500 on 5 and a quarter half. Everybody on 550. Somebody 5. 5. Somebody 5. Everybody get 5. Somebody on 6. And now quarter. 6 and a quarter. Everybody get 6. Everybody get 6 and a quarter half. Everybody on 650. Somebody 5. 6. Somebody 5. Now somebody now quarter. And now half. Somebody half. Somebody 5 here. Now 8. Everybody give 8. Everybody give 8. Now quarter. 8 and a quarter. 8 and a quarter. Everybody give 8 and a quarter half. At 8 and a half. Somebody 5. 8. Somebody 5. Somebody 5. Everybody give 8. Somebody 5. At 850. Everybody give 8. Somebody 5. Everybody give 8. 75. 875. Sold at number 850. 10. 31. 38. 44. Bull calf, 38.44 on the bull calf here, but about 1,000. 1,000, everybody get 1,000. Everybody get there, but about 1,000. Everybody get 1,000. Everybody get 1,000. Everybody get there, but about 900. 9 here, everybody get 9. Everybody get 9. 9 quarter. 9 everybody get 9. Everybody get 9 quarter. Everybody get 9 quarter. 9 9 quarter. Everybody get 9 quarter. 9 here, everybody get 9 quarter. Half here, but about 50. 75. 9 75. Everybody get 1,000. Everybody get 1,000. 1,000. Everybody get 1,000. Now quarter. Everybody get 10. Everybody get 10. Everybody get 10 quarter. Now half. What about 10 50? 10 50. Everybody get 10 50 50. Somebody about 10. Somebody about here. Everybody get 10 75. 10 50. Everybody get 10. Somebody about here. Everybody get 10. Somebody about 10 50. Everybody get 10. Somebody about sold at over 10 50. 10 3 1. Yeah, 38.95. 38.95 bull calf, 38.95 on the bull calf here. I tell you about 1,000. Everybody get 10, about 1,000. Everybody get 1,000. 1,000. Everybody get 1,000. 1,000 quarter. Everybody get 10. Everybody get 10. Everybody get 10 a quarter half. What about 10 50? 10 50. Everybody get 50. Everybody get 50. Everybody get 10 50. Somebody about here. Everybody get 10. Somebody about here now 11. 1,100. Everybody get 11. 10. Somebody about 11 and now quarter. 11 a quarter. 11 a quarter. 11 here. Everybody get 11 a quarter. 11 10 10 10. What about 10? 11 10. Everybody get 10. Everybody get 10. Everybody get 10. Everybody get 10. Sold at over 1,100. 10 31. Yeah, 38.20 bull calf, 38.20 on the bull calf here. Right here, about 1,000. 1,000, everybody get 1,000, everybody get 1,000. Everybody get 1,000, everybody get 1,000, everybody get 1,000. 1,000, everybody get 1,000, everybody get 1,000, everybody get 900. 9 here, about 9, everybody get 9, everybody get 9, everybody get 9, everybody get 9. 9 here now, quarter. 9, everybody get 9, quarter, half. What about 50? Somebody 5, 9, somebody 5, 9, somebody 5. Here, everybody get 1,000 now, quarter. 10, a quarter, half. Here, what about 10, 50? Somebody 5, 10, somebody 5. Here now, 11. 1,100, everybody 11. You want everybody get 1,100 now, quarter. 11 a quarter, 11 a quarter, 11 a quarter. 11 right here, 1,100 now, quarter. 11 a quarter, everybody 11 a quarter. 1,100 now, quarter. Everybody 11 a quarter. Everybody 11 a quarter. Sold at over 1,100. 10 31. 38.33 bull calf, 38.33 on the bull calf. Right there, but about 1,000. Everybody get 10, but about 1,000. Everybody get 1,000. Everybody get 800. 8 here, everybody get 8. Everybody get 8 6. Here, but about 6. Everybody get 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 5. Here, but about 5. Here, 500. Here, but about 5. Here, but about 5. 3 3 3 3 3. But about 3. Everybody get 2. 200. Here, but about 2. 200. Everybody get 2. 2 2. But about 200. Everybody get 1. 1 here, but about 1. Here, but about 1. Everybody get 1. Everybody get 1. Everybody get 1. Everybody get 1. 50. 50. Everybody get 50. Everybody get 50. Somebody 5. Somebody 5 here now. $100 now. Quarter. 1 quarter half. Here, but about 50. Somebody 5 internet here, but about 175 and 150, 175 here, but 175 floors on 150, 175 and 150, 175, 75, 175, 175, and now 200 out quarter, 2 and a quarter, 2 and a quarter, now half here, but about 250, 250, we get 50, we get 250, we get 50, we get 50, we get 250, 250, we get 50, we get 50, 225, but about 2, we get 250, sold at over 225, 10, 31. 38.22 bull calf, right here, right about 12. Here we get 12. Here we get 12. Here we get 12. Here we get 12. 11. 1,100 now, quarter. 11 here. We get 11 a quarter. 11 a quarter. 11 a quarter. Half. Here we get 150. 1150. We get 50. We get 50. We get 50. We get 50. We get 1150. 1150. We get 50. We get 50. 75. 11. 75. 75. 75. 6. 75. Down 12. 12 here. We get 12. Here we get 12. Here we get 12. 1180. Now 90. 1190. We get 90. Now 12. Here we get 1200. Here we get 12. Here we get 12. 1200 now 10. 10. We get 10. We get 12. 10. 12. 10. 10. 10. We get 10. We get 12. 10. 10. 10. We get 10. We get 10. We get 10. We get 10. Sold at over 1,200. 10. 31. 38.49. Bull calf, 38.49 on the bull calf. Right here we go on this one. Right here, but about 1,000. Everybody get 10, but about 1,000. Everybody get 1,000. Everybody get 10, but about 1,000. Everybody get 1,000. Everybody get 900. Everybody get 9 now. Quarter 9. Everybody get 9 a quarter. 9 a quarter. Everybody get a quarter half. Here, but about 50. Somebody 5. 9. Somebody 5. Everybody get 1,000 now. Quarter. 10 a quarter. 10 a quarter half. Here, but about 10. 50. Somebody 5. 10. Somebody 5. Somebody 5. 10. Somebody 5. Now 11. 1,100. Everybody 11. 11 here now. Quarter. 11 a quarter. Everybody 11 a quarter. 1,100 now. Quarter. Everybody 11 a quarter. 11.25. Sold at over 1,110. 31. 38.23, bull calf, 38.23 on the bull calf, 15 a quarter, 15 a quarter, now half, you're about 15 and a half, at 15 and a half, you're going to get 15 and a half, 15 a quarter, half, you're about 15 and a half, you're going to get 15 and a half, at 15 and a half, you're going to get 15 and a half, 75, 15, 75, 16, 16, 16, you're going to get 16, 15, 75, 16, you want in, we're going to get 16, we're going to get 16, 16, sold at over 15, 75, 58, 61. Yeah, 38.78, bull calf, 38.78 on the bull calf, 15, at 15 quarter, 15 a quarter, but about 15 a quarter, at 15 a quarter, half, 15 a half, 75, to 16, 16, 16 a quarter, 16 a quarter, half, 16 a half, 75, 16, 75, 16, 75, 75, here we get 16, 75, 16, 75, sold at over 16 a half, 40 on 20, 40 on 20. Yeah, 38.68 heifer. You said heifer here. At 38.68 heifer. At the about 5. Here, about 5. 3. 3. But about 3. We get $300. We get 3. We get 3. We get 2. At $200 now quarter. But 2. 2 and a quarter. We get 2 and a quarter. At 2. 2 and a quarter half. Here, about 250. Somebody about 3. 3. 3 quarter half. Here, about 350. At now somebody about 3. Somebody about 4. We get 4. We get 4. We get 4. We get 4. At 3. Somebody about here. We get 4. 3. Somebody about here. About 4. Internet trout. Here, about 4. At 3. Somebody about here. We get 4. We get 4. We get 4. 3. Somebody about here. About 4. Sold at over 375. Put them on number. Yeah, I believe it was right there. Number 8960. 8960. 38.64 heifer, 38.64 heifer, 14, but about 14, but about 14, we get 14, at 14, but about 14, 13 a quarter, half, here, but about 13 and a half, 75, at 13, 75, here, we get 13, 75, at 13.50, 75, 13, 75, sold at over 13.50, 40 on 20, 38.73. Heifer, 38.73 on the heifer here. 1,000. Everybody built 1,000. Everybody get 1,000 quarter. 10 a quarter. About 10 a quarter. 10 a quarter. 10. About 10. Everybody get 10. Everybody get 10 a quarter. Everybody get 10.25. 10.25. Everybody about 25. Everybody get 10.25. 10.25. Everybody about 10.25. Sold it over 1,000. 90. 100. At 38.76, bull calf, 38.76 on the bull calf, 15, we get 15 quarter, 15 a quarter, about a quarter half, 15 and a half, 15 and a half, 15 and a half, here we get 15 and a half, at 15 a quarter, right there, 15 and a half, 75, 15, 75, here we get 60, 70, at 15, 70, now 80, we get 80, 90, we get 15, 90, now 16, 10, but about 10, we get 16, 10, 16, 10, but about 10, we get 10, sold it over 1,600, 58.61. Yeah, 38.67. You said bull calf right here. 15, 16. You said 16, but about 16 a quarter. 16 a quarter half. Yeah, but about 16 and a half. 75, 16, 75, 17. 1,700. Everybody get 17. 1680. Now 90. 1690. Now 17. 17. Everybody get 17. 1,700. Everybody get 17. One time here, but about 17. 1690. Everybody get 17. Everybody get 17. Sold at over 1690. 58.61. Yeah, 39.49. Bull calf, 39.49 on the bull calf. Retain, but about 12. He would have been 1,200. I would get 12. At 12 here, but about 12 quarter. Would get 12 now quarter. But about 12 here, would get 12 and a quarter. At 1,200, would get 12 and a quarter half. Here, but about 12.50, 75. Now 13. But about 13. At 12.75 here, but about 13. But about 13. 12.75, 13 a quarter. At 13 a quarter. 13 a quarter. Would get 13 a quarter. 13 a quarter. Sold at over 1,340 on 5. 37.68 bull calf, 37.68 on the bull calf. Right here, 12 here, but about $1,200. We're get 12 here, we're get 12 quarter, but about 12 and a quarter, we're get 12 and a quarter going the other way. 12 and a quarter, 12 and a quarter, we're get 12 and a quarter, 12 and a quarter, 1,200 now quarter, we get 12 and a quarter. Sold at over 1,200, but I'm 40 on 1. At 37.63, bull calf, retain, but about 14, but about 14, we get 14, we get 13, now 13 a quarter half, 75 to 14 a quarter half, 14 and a half, 75 to 15 a quarter, now half, 15 and a half, 75 to 16, 1,600, we get 16, 15, 75, here, what about 16, we get 16, sold it over 15, 75, 40 on 20. Yeah, 38.79 bull calf, 38.79 on the bull calf, 1500 everybody get 15, 15, but about 15, but we get 15, 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 15, we get 14, 14 and a quarter, 14 and a quarter half, 13 and a half, 75, now 15 and a quarter, now half, here, but about 15 now, 75, 15, 16, we get 16 and a quarter, 16, we get 16 and a quarter, $1,600 now, quarter, everybody get 16 and a quarter, everybody get 16 and a quarter, 16 and a quarter, sold at over 16. 58.61 and 38.25. Heifer 38.25 on a heifer here. 12 people about $1,200. Everybody get 12. At 12 here, but about 12 now. Quarter. Everybody get $1,200 now. Quarter. Everybody get 12 and a quarter. Everybody get 12 and a quarter. At 12 and a quarter. 12 and a quarter. Half. Here, but about 12.50. At 12.50. Everybody get 50. 75. Here, but about 12.75. 12.75. Everybody get 12.75. Here, but about 12.75. 12.75. Sold it over 12.50. 90. 100. Hit 37.77 heifer here, but about 15, but to get 15, 14, at 14, but about 14, 13 quarter, 13 a quarter half, but about 13 and a half, 75 here in the 14, and now quarter, 14 a quarter, 14 a quarter, 14 a quarter, we get 14 a quarter, at 14 a quarter, 14, we get 14 a quarter half, at 14 and a half, 75, 14, 75 here, we get 14, 75, at 60, now 70, 14, 70, we get 70, sold it over 14, 60, 10, 31. Yeah, 38.66. Heifer, 38.66 on a heifer here. 14, but about 14, we get 14, 13 a quarter, 13 a quarter, 13 a quarter half here, but about 13 and a half, 75, 13, 75 here, we get 13, 75, 13, 75 to 14 a quarter, 14 a quarter half here, but about 14 and a half, and now 75, 14, 75 here, we get 14, 75, sold it over 14 and a half, 40 on 20. Hit 38.97 bull calf right there. Here we go. But about 12 here. 1,200 here. We get 12 here. But about 12 here. We get 12. 1,100. Everybody get 11. 11 here. We get 11. Everybody get 1,000. But about 1,000. Everybody get 1,000. Everybody get 1,000. Everybody get 1,000. But about 900. At 9 here. We get 9. Here we get 9. We get 9. We get 9. 8 here. We get 8. Here we get 8. 6 here. But about 6. We get 6. We get 6 and a quarter. At 6 here. We get 6 and a quarter. $600 now quarter. Here we get 6 and a quarter. At 6 and a quarter. 6 and a quarter. But about 6 and a quarter half. Here. But about 650. 75. 675. Here we get 675. At 675 now 7. Everybody get 7 and a quarter. 7 and a quarter. Half, you want about 750, 75, here, we get 775, and now $800 now quarter, we give 8 here, we give 8 and a quarter, and now half, you want about 850, 75, 875, now 9, we get 9 now quarter, and now half, you want about 950, 75, 975, here, we get 1,000, and now quarter, but about 10 and a quarter, half, you want about 1050, 75, here, we get 10, 75, here, now 11, $1,100, we get 11, 10, 75, 11, and now quarter, 1125, 11 here, we get 1125, 25, here, we get 1125, 1125, sold it over 1110, 31. 37.43 bull calf. 37.43 on the bull calf. Right here. Here we go. But about 12. Here we get 12. Here we get 11. 1,100 now quarter. 11 here. We get 11 a quarter. We get 11 a quarter. 11 here. We get 11 a quarter. 11 a quarter. We get 11 a quarter. Half. Here we get 150. 75. 11. 75. 12. Here we get 12. Here we get 12. 11. 75. 12. Quarter. Here we get 12 and a quarter. Now half. Here we get 12. 50. 75. 12. 75. 12. 75. 60. 70. We get 12. 70. Now 80. 12. 80. We get 80. We get 80. We get 80. We get 12. 80. We get 12. 80. We get 12. 80. Sold it over 12.70. 40 on 1. 40 on 1. Hit 37.45 bull calf. 37.45 on the bull calf. Right there, 1,100. Already 11. 11 and now quarter. 11 a quarter. 11 a quarter. 1,100 a quarter. Half. Here, 150. 75. 11. 75. 12. Here, 12. Here, we get 12. $1,200 now quarter. Here, we get 12. 12 and a quarter. We get 12 and a quarter. Half. 12 and a half. 12 and a half. 75. 12. 75. Here, we get 75. 60. 12. 60. Now 70. We get 12. 70. 12. 60. We get 70. We get 70. We get 70. We get 70. Sold it over 12. 60. 10. 31. 37.42 bull calf there right here. 11. We get 1,100. We get 11. 1,100. We get 11. We get 11. We get 1,100. We get 1,100. We get 11. We get 1,000. 1,000. We get 1,000. What about 1,000 quarter? 10 a quarter half. What about 10.50? 10.50. 75. Here we get 10. 75. 11. We get 11 now quarter. 11 a quarter half. Here 11.50. 11.50. 75. 11.75. 75. 12. Here we get 1,200. We get 12. 11.75. Here what about 12? Here we get 12. Here we get 12. Here we get 12. Sold it over 11.75. 90. 100. 37.47. Bull calf, 37.47 on the bull calf. 11, we get 1,100, we get 11, we get 1,100 now. Quarter, 11 a quarter, half, you put it on 50. Now 75, 11, 75, 75, 12. You put it 1,200 now. Quarter, we get 12, 12 and a quarter. 12, 12 and a quarter, we get 12 and a quarter. We get 12 and a quarter, 10, 20, we get 12, 20, 30. But about 30, 40, we get 12, 40, 50. 12, 50, we get 50, we get 50, we get 12, 50, 60. 12, 60. Now somebody, we get 12, somebody, we get 12, somebody, we get 12, 70. So 70, sold it over 12, 60. 40 on 1. Yeah, 38.96 bull calf, 38.96 on the bull calf here, right here, but about 1,000, but about 1,000, if we get down, but about 1,000, if we get 1,000, if we get down, but about 1,000, if we get 900, at 9 here, if we get 9, here we get 900, if we get 9, if we get 9, if we get 9, if we get 9, 8, here we get 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 8, 7, 7, 7, we get 7, we get 6, here we get 6, here we get about 5, here, but about 5, here 5, here, but about 5, 3, 3, 3, 3, but about 3, we get 2, 2, 2, but about 2, we get 200, we get 2, 2, 2, 2, but about 2, we get 2, we get 2, 2, quarter, but about 2, 2 and a quarter, 2, 2 and a quarter, half. Yeah, what about 250? Somebody about 2, somebody about 10, 2, somebody about 3, 3, 3 quarter, 3 and a quarter, and 3 and a quarter, half. Yeah, what about 350? Somebody about 10, 3, somebody about 4, but about 4, but you get 4, 4 now quarter, 4 and a quarter, 10, but you get 4 and a quarter, 4, 4 and a quarter, floors on. Here, what about 4 and a quarter, $400 now quarter, but you get 4 and a quarter, but you get 4 and a quarter, timber out here, but you get 4 and a quarter, 4, 4 and a quarter, but you get 4, 4, but you get 4 and a quarter, but you get 4 and a quarter, you want in, but you get 4 and a quarter, sold up over 400, put them on 10, 63. Yeah, 38.71. Hit 38.71 heifer right there on the heifer here. Right there, but about 14. 14, but about 14. But you get 14. But you get 14. 13, 13 a quarter. 13, 13 a quarter. 13 a quarter half. Yeah, but about 13 and a half. 75, 13, 75, 75 to 14. 14, 14 a quarter. 14 a quarter. $1,400 now quarter. But you get 14. But you get 14 a quarter half. Yeah, but about 14 and a half. 75, 14, 75, 75. Here, but you get 14, 75. 14, 75. Here, but about 14, 75. Sold it over 14 and a half, 40 on 20. 37.48 bull calf, 37.48 on the bull calf here. Right there, but about 1,000. Everybody get 10, but about 1,000. Everybody get 1,000. Everybody get 800. At 8 here, everybody get 8 here, but about 8. Everybody get 8 here now quarter. Everybody get 8 here now quarter. Everybody get 8 a quarter. At 8 here, everybody get 8 a quarter. Everybody get $800 now quarter. Everybody get 8 a quarter. 8 here, everybody get 8 a quarter. At $800 now quarter. Everybody get 8 here. Everybody get 8 a quarter. Everybody get 8 a quarter. Sold at over 800. 90, 100. 37.49 bull calf here right here, $1,100, 11, and now quarter half. Here, what about 11.50? Now somebody about 11, somebody about here, but 11.75, and somebody about 12. Here, what about 1,200 now quarter? Everybody get 12 and a quarter half. Here, what about 12.50? And now somebody about 12, somebody about 12, somebody about 12, somebody about 13, 13, 13, 13, 13 a quarter, 13 a quarter, 13 a quarter, 10, 20. Everybody get 13, 20, 13, 20, 20. Everybody get 20, everybody get 20, everybody get 20, everybody get 20, everybody get 20. Sold at over 13, 10, 10, 31. Yeah, 38.91 bull calf, 38.91 on a bull calf right there, 1,100. Everybody get 11, everybody get 1,100. Everybody get 11, everybody get 1,000. $1,000 now quarter. Everybody get 10, everybody get 10, everybody get 10 a quarter. Everybody get 10 a quarter. 10, 10 a quarter. Everybody get 10, 25. Here, everybody get 25, 50. Everybody get 10, 50, 75. Everybody get 10, 75. 10, 75 here now, 1,100 now quarter. 11 a quarter. Everybody 11 a quarter. Everybody 11 a quarter half. Here, everybody 50, 11.50, 11.50. Everybody get 50, 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 everybody get 50. 75, 11.75, 11.75, 75. Here, everybody 11.75, 11.75, 11.75. You want in 11.75, sold up over 11.50. Put them on is that 87.94, 87.94, 38.65. Heifer, 38.65 on a heifer. Right hand, but about 15, 15, but you get 14, 14, 14 a quarter, but you get 14 a quarter, 14, 14 a quarter, $1,400 now quarter, but you get 14, 14 a quarter half. Here, but about 14 and a half, 75, 14, 75 to 15, 15, 15, 15, 15, but about 15 a quarter, 15 a quarter, 15 a quarter, 15 a quarter, but you get 15 a quarter, sold at over 1,540 on 20. Yeah, 38.84. You said bull calf. Well, right here. Here we go on this one. Right there. But about 12 here. We get 1,200. Here we get 12. Here, but about 12. 12 here. We get 12. Here, but about 12 quarter. $1,200 now quarter. Here we get 12. 12 and a quarter. We get 12 and a quarter. $1,200 now quarter. Half. Here, but about 12 and a half. Here, but about 50. We get 12.50. 12.25. Here, but about 50. We get 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 50. Sold up over 12.25. Put them on 5.137. 5.137. Yeah, 37.41. You said bull calf. Yeah, 37.41 on a bull calf. Right here, 1,100. Everybody 11. 11 here, everybody 11. Everybody 11 and now quarter. 11 here, everybody 11 a quarter. Everybody 11 a quarter. 11 here, everybody 11 a quarter. 11.25 and now 50. 11.50. Everybody get 50. Everybody get 50. Everybody get 50. 11.50. 11.50. Everybody get 50. Everybody get 50. Everybody get 50. Everybody get 50. 11.25 right here now 50. 11.25. Here, everybody 50. Everybody get 50. Everybody get 50. Everybody get 50. Sold at over 11.25. 10.31. 37.50 bull calf. 1100. Everybody 11. Everybody 11. Everybody 11. Everybody 1100. Everybody 11. Everybody 1,000. Now quarter half. Everybody about 10.50. Somebody 5. Everybody get 10. Somebody 5. 11. Now quarter. 11 and a quarter half. Everybody 150. 11.50. 11.50. Somebody 5. 11. Somebody 5. Somebody 5. Down 12. Everybody 1200. Everybody get 12. 12 here. Everybody get 12. 11.80. Now 90. Now 12. Everybody 12. Everybody get 12. 10. 10. 10. 20. Everybody get 12. 20. 12. 20. Now 30. Everybody 30. 40. Everybody get 12. 40. Everybody get 40. 50. Everybody get 12. 50. 12. 50. Everybody get 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 50. Sold at number 1240. 10. 3 1. 38.83 bull calf. 38.83 on the bull calf. Here we're at everybody 1100. 11 and now quarter. 11 everybody 11 and a quarter. Everybody 11 and a quarter. 11.25. 11.25. 25. 50. 50. 75. 11. 75. 12 now quarter. 12 and a quarter half. You're about 12.50. 12.50. One ain't got to 12.50. 12.50. Everybody get 50. Everybody get 50. 75. 12. 75. 60. 12.60. But I'm everybody get 60. Everybody get 60. Everybody get 60. Everybody get 12.60. Sold at number 12.50. 10. 31. 37.44 bull calf. 37.44 on the bull calf here. I tell you about 1,000. 1,000. Everybody get 1,000. Everybody get about 1,000. Everybody get 1,000. You say 1,000 here. About 1,000. Everybody get 1,000. Quarter. Everybody get 10. Everybody get 10 a quarter. Everybody get 10 a quarter. 10. 10 a quarter. About 10 a quarter half. Here about 10.50. Somebody 5. Now 11. 1100 now quarter. Now half. Here about 50. 11.50. Everybody get 50. Everybody get 50. Somebody 5. 11.75. 12. Now quarter. 12 and a quarter half. Here about 12.50. 12.50. Everybody get 50. 12.50. Somebody 5. 12. Somebody 5. 13. 13. 13. 12. Somebody 5. Here about 13. Everybody get 13. You say 13, 13, 10, 13, 10, 10, 10, but about 10, everybody get 13, 10, 10, 10, but about 10, everybody get 10, everybody get 10, sold at over 1,300, 10, 31. 38.85 bull calf. 38.85 on the bull calf. Right here, 12. People about 1,200. Everybody get 12. People about 12, 11. 1,100. Everybody get 11. Everybody get 1,100. Everybody get 11. Everybody get 1,000. 1,000. Everybody get 1,000. Everybody get 1,000. Quarter, half. People about 10, 50. Somebody 5 here now. 11. 1,100. Everybody get 11. Everybody get 11. Everybody get 11. Now quarter. 11 a quarter. 11 a quarter half. People about 50. 11. Everybody get 50. Somebody 5. 11. Somebody 5. 12. People about 12. 12. 12. Everybody get 12. 11. Somebody 5. People about 12. People about 12. Everybody get 12. 11. Somebody 5. People about 12. Sold at over 11. Somebody 5. 10. 31. Yeah, 38.70 bull calf. 38 somebody on the bull calf. 15, 15, 15, 15. She say 15 a quarter. At 15 a quarter, bottom a quarter. Everybody get 15 a quarter. At 15 a quarter, everybody get 15 a quarter half. Here, bottom 15. Somebody 5. 15, somebody 5, somebody 5, somebody 5. Here, everybody get 15, 75. At 15, somebody 5, somebody 5. Here, everybody get 15, 75. 15, 75. Sold it over 15, 50. 58.61. 38.86. Bull calf, 38.86 on the bull calf. Right here, 1,000. 1,000. Everybody get 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 900. 9 here. Everybody get 9. Here. Everybody get 9. Everybody get 9. 8. Here. Everybody get 8. Here. Everybody get 800. Everybody get 8. Everybody get 8. 8. Here. Everybody get 8. 7. 7. Everybody get 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 6. Here. Everybody get 6. Everybody get 5. Hit 5 here. Everybody on 5. Here. Everybody on 5. Here. Everybody on 5. 5. Quarter half. Here. Everybody about 550. Somebody 5. And now 6. Everybody get 6 here and a quarter. 6 and a quarter half. Here. Everybody about 650. Somebody 5. 6. Somebody 5. Now 7. 7. Everybody get 7. Everybody get 7. Everybody get 7. Now quarter. 7 and a quarter. 7 and a quarter. 7. 7 and a quarter. Everybody get 7. 7 and a quarter half. You put them on 750. And now 7 and 5. Everybody get 7. 7 and 5. Everybody get 7. 7 and 5. Everybody get 8. Everybody get 8. Everybody get 8 here. Now quarter. Everybody get 8 and a quarter. 8 and a quarter half. You put them on 850. And now 7 and 5. 8. 7 and 5. 9. Everybody get 9. Everybody get 9. Everybody get 9. Everybody get 9 quarter. 9 and a quarter half. You put them on 50. 7 and 5. 9. 7 and 5. Everybody get 1,000. And now quarter. 10 and a quarter half. You put them on 1050. 1050. 7 and 5. Everybody get 10. 7 and 5. 10. 7 and 5. 11. Everybody get 1100. Everybody get 11. 10. 7 and 5. Everybody get 11. 10. 7 and 5. Everybody get 11. Sold up over 10. 75. 87.94. Yeah, 38.90. 38.90 bull calf. Right here, but I'm on. Hey, everybody give 800. Everybody give 8. Everybody give 8. Everybody give 8. 5. Here, but I'm on 5. Hit 500. But I'm on 5. Here, but I'm on 5. Everybody give 5. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. But I'm on 3. 2. 200. Here, but I'm on 2. Quarter. And now half. 2 and a half. 75. 2. 75. 3. 300 now. Quarter. 3 and a quarter half. Here, but about 350. And now 75. 3. 75. 3. 75. 3. 75. 3. 75. 4. But about 4. Everybody get 4. Everybody get 4. 3. 75. 4. Now quarter. Everybody get 4. 4 and a quarter. At 4. Everybody get 4 and a quarter. 4 and a quarter. Now half. Here, but about 4 and a half. 75. 4. 75. 5. Here, but about 500. Everybody get 5. 10. At 500, everybody get 5. Here, but about 5. Everybody get 5. Everybody get 5. 4. Somebody about 5. Here, but about 5. Now quarter. At $500 now quarter and a half. Here, but about 550. 10. Here, but about 550. At 550, everybody get 50. Everybody get 550. 525. Here, but about 550. 550. At 525. Here, but about 550. 75. 5. Somebody about everybody get 5. Somebody about 6. Everybody get 600. Everybody get 6. 10. Here, but about 6. At 5. Somebody about here, but about 6. Everybody get 6. Everybody get 6. Everybody get 6. 5. Somebody about here, but about 6. Everybody get 6. Sold at over 575. Put them on 1864. $37.99 bull calf, $37.99 on the bull calf, 200. Everybody get 200. One, everybody one quarter, one, everybody one quarter half, everybody 150, 75, now two, now quarter half, everybody 250, 250, everybody get 50, 75, 275, three, everybody get 300, now quarter, 3 and a quarter, now half, everybody 350, 350, 75, 375, everybody get 375, 350, 75, 350, 75, everybody 375, 350, everybody get 375, you want in, 375, everybody get 375, sold at number 350, 1773. $37.97 heifer, $37.97 heifer, 200. Everybody get 200. Everybody bet one quarter, half. Everybody bet 150. Leave 150. 150. Everybody go 150. 150. Everybody go 150. Now 75. 175. Down 200. Everybody get 2. Leave here. Everybody get 200. Now quarter. Now half. Everybody bet 250. Leave here. Everybody get 250. 250. Everybody get 50. Everybody get 50. 75. 275. 300. Everybody about 3. Leave here. Everybody get 300. Everybody about 3. 300. Everybody get 3 quarter. 3 and a quarter. Half. Everybody about 350. Lee, here we get 350, 350, we get 50, we get 50, we get 350, 75, 375, now 4, at 400, we get 4, Lee, here we get 400, we get 4, 375, here we about 4, quarter, we get 4 and a quarter, we get 4 and a quarter, at 400, now quarter, 4 and a quarter, we get 4 and a quarter, 400, we get 4 and a quarter, 4 and a quarter, now half, at 4 and a half, here we get 4 and a half, Lee, here we get 4 and a half, at 4 and a half, 75, Tim, 475, 475, here we about 475, at 475, Tim, here we about 475, here we about 475, 475, 475, 5, here we about 500, here we get Lee, here we get 5, now quarter, at 5, here we get 5 and a quarter, Tim, here we about 5 and a quarter, at 5, here we get 5 and a quarter, 5, here we get 5 and a quarter, we get 5 and a quarter, 5 and a quarter, 5 and a quarter, sold at number 500. 026 by 026. Yep, Lee's the buyer on that one. $37.94 heifer, $37.94 on a heifer here. I tell you about 4, we get 400, we get 4, and 4, we get 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 3, but about 3, we get 300, but about 3, we get 3, we get 3, but about 3, 2, 200, but about 2, we get 2, we get 200, but about 1 here, quarter, half, you but about 150, 75, 175, 175, 175, 2, we get 200 now, quarter, 2 and a quarter, but about 2 and a quarter, now half, 2 and a half, Tim, 2 and a half, here, but about 2 and a half, Lee's on, 2 and a half, 75, 275, 275, 3, what about 3, now quarter, 3 and a quarter, half, here, what about 350, 75, 375, now 4, but about 4, we get 4, we get 4, 4, now quarter, at 4 and a quarter, we get 4 and a quarter, Tim's on, here, but about 4 and a quarter, at 4 and a quarter, at 4 and a quarter, half, here, but about 4 and a half, Tim, here, but about 4 and a half, at 4 and a half, here, but about 4 and a half, here, we get 4 and a half, Tim, you're out, here, we get 4 and a half, at 4 and a half, here, we get 4 and a half, 4 and a half, 4 and a half, here, we get 4 and a half, here, we get 4 and a half, 4 and a half, sold at ever 4 and a quarter, Lee's way, 026. $37.98 bull calf, $37.98 bull calf, 100 here, but a bit one, and now quarter, 1 here, but a bit 1 a quarter, Chris here, but a bit 1 a quarter, half, at 150, 175, Brandon here, but about 175, at 175, 2, but about 2 quarter, but a bit 2, but a 2 and a quarter, but a 2 and a quarter, at 2 and a quarter, but a 2 and a quarter, 2, but about 2, but a 2 and a quarter, but a 2 and a quarter, 200 now quarter, but a 2 and a quarter, half, at 250, 75, here, but about 275, 275, 3, and now quarter, 3 and a quarter, but a 3 and a quarter, 3 and a quarter, but get 3 and a quarter, 3, but get 3 and a quarter, sold up over 300, but on 89.60. $37.96 heifer, $37.96 on a heifer here, but I'm on 4, but I get 400, but I get 4, but I get 4, but I get 4, but I get 3, but I'm on 3, 300, but I get 3, but I get 3, but I get 3, but I get 2, but about 200 now quarter, at 2 and a quarter, but about 2 and a quarter, half, here, but about 250, something about 2, something about 3, but I get 3, but I get 3 quarter, 3 and a quarter, Tim, 3 and a quarter, half, here, but about 350, 350, something, but about 350, 75, Tim, 3, something about 4, but about 4, but I get 4, but I get 4, 3, something about here, but about 4, now quarter, 4 and a quarter, Tim, here, but about 4 and a quarter, at 4 and a quarter, half, here, but about 450, at 450, but I get 450, but I get 450, but I get 450, at 4 and a quarter, but I get 450, Tim's on, 4 and a quarter, 450, at 450, but I get 50, but I get 50, but I get 50, but I get 50, but I get 450, sold at over 4 and a quarter, Tim's way, put him on 89.11. 3,800 heifer, little lot, 3,800 on a heifer here, 400, what about 4, but about 4, but I get 4, but I get 4, but I get 3, but about 3, 300, but about 3, but I get 300, but about 3, 200 down quarter, 2 and a quarter, but about 2 and a quarter, 2 and a quarter, but I get 2 and a quarter, $200 now quarter, but about 2 and a quarter, right there, 200, 2 and a quarter, 2 and a quarter, but about 2 and a quarter, half, now somebody about 2, somebody about 2, somebody about 2, somebody about 2, somebody about 3 quarter, 3 and a quarter, but about 3 and a quarter, 3 and a quarter, but about 3 and a quarter, 300 now quarter, but about 3 and a quarter, but I get 3 and a quarter, 3 and a quarter, 3.25. Sold up over 300. Put them on too late. Put them on 89.60. 89.60. Yeah, 38.05 bull calf, 38.05 on the bull calf, 200, what about 2? 200, what about 2? We get 2, quarter, what about 2, 2.25, 200 now quarter, 2, 2.25 half, what about 250, something about 2, something about 3 now quarter, 3.25 half, what about 350, 350, we get 50 internet here, what about now, what about 350, 325, what about 350, something about 3, something about 3, something about here, we get 375, 375, what about 375, you want in, we get 375, 375, what about 375, sold here 350, 1773. Yeah, 3806 heifer, 3806 on the heifer here. Right here, but about 4, we get 4, 3, 3, but about 3, 2, 200, we get 2, $200 GC2 here, quarter, but about quarter and a half, what about 250, 250, we get 50, something about 2, something about 3, 3, what about 3, 2, something about, what about 3, quarter, 3.25, what about 3.25, 3.25, we get 3.25, 3.25, we get 3.25, $300 now, quarter, we get 3, here we get 3.25, sold it over 300. What is that one? 88.54. 88.54. 38.21 bull calf. 38.21 on the bull calf. Right here, but about 14, but about 14, we get 14, we get 14, we get 13, but about 13, we get 12, 12 here, but about 12 here, but about 12 here, we get 1200, we get 12 here, but about 12 here, we get 12 here, but about 12 here, we get 12, 11, 11 here, now quarter, 11 here, we get 11 quarter, we get 11 quarter, 11 25, 11 25, 25 here, but about 25, 11 25, 25, 25 here, but about 11 25, 25, 50, 50, but about 50, we get 50, we get 50, we get 50, 11 50, we get 50, we get 50, we get 50, 11 25, 50, 75, 11 75, 12 here, but about 12, 11 75, here, but about 12, 11 75, here, but about 12, here, we get 12, here, we get 12, sold it over 11 75, 10 31. Yeah, 38.01 heifer, 38.01 on the heifer here. At the end, but about 5, here, but about 5, here, but about 500, here, but get 5, here, but about 5, here, but about 5, 4, but about 4, but get 4, but get 400, but get 4, 3, 3, but about 3, but get 300, but get 3, 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 2, but about $200 now, quarter, and I'll have 2.5, somebody about, here, but about 2, somebody about, 2, somebody about, here, but get somebody about 3, but now quarter, 3.25, but about 3.25, we get 3, but get 3.25, but get 3.25, $300 now, quarter, but get 3.25, but get 3.25, half, 3.5, 3.5, somebody about, here, but about 375, sold up every 3.5, put them on number 89.60, 89.60. 39.42 bull calf, 39.42 bull calf, 12, here but about 12, everybody get 12, here but about 12, everybody get 12, everybody get 12, 11, 1100 now, quarter, 11 quarter, 11 quarter, everybody get 11, 25, now 50, but about 50, 75, 11, 75, 75, 75, 11, 75, 11, 50, 75, 11, 50, everybody get 75, here but about 11, 75, 11, 75, now 12, here but about 12, everybody get 12, 12 here, now quarter, 12 here, but about 12 and a quarter, 12, 12 and a quarter, everybody get 12, now quarter, but about 12, everybody get 12 and a quarter, sold it over 1210, 31. Yeah, 37.95 bull calf, 37.95 on the bull calf. Retain, but about 5. Here, but about 5. Here, but about 5. 3, but about 3. 300, here, but about 3. But get 3, 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 but get 2. 2, but about 200, but get 2. 200, but about 2. 2, but about 2. 200. You say 2 here. 200 now quarter, but about 2, but get 2 and a quarter, but about 2 and a quarter half. Here, but about 250. Now 75, 2, 75, 2, 75. Chris here down 3. 300 now quarter, 3 and a quarter, but get 3 and a quarter. 3 and a quarter, 3 and a quarter, 3 and a quarter half. Here, but about 350. 350, 75, 375, 375, here, but about 375, 375, Tim's on, 350, 375, 353, but about 375, 75, here, we get 375, 350, we get 375, here, but about 375, sold it over 350, Tim's way, put them on 89.11, 89.11. Yeah, 38.89 bull calf, 38.89 on the bull calf. Retain, but about 5. Here, but about 500, everybody get 5. Here, but about 5. 3, but about 3. 300, but about 3. 2, but about 200, everybody get 2. Quarter, but about 2, 2 and a quarter half. Here, but about 250. 250, everybody get 50, everybody get 50, everybody get 50. Something about 2, something about 3. Quarter, 3 and a quarter, but about half. Here, but about 350. 75. 3, something about 3, something about 4. But about 4, everybody get 4, everybody get 400, everybody get 4. Chris. 3, something about, here, but about 4. 3, something about, here, but about 4. Everybody get 4, everybody get 4. 3, something about, here, but about 4. Sold it over 3. 75, and put them on number 8854, 8854, lot number 3802, 3802. Bull calf, team bottom on 3, 3, bottom on 3, we get 3, 2, team bottom on 200, we get 2, quarter, 2, quarter, half, and what about 250? And out somebody about 2, somebody about 2, somebody about 3, we get 300, we get 3, 3, quarter, 3 and a quarter, 3 and a quarter, 3 and a quarter, 3 and a quarter, gotta be 3 and a quarter, 3 and a quarter, 3 and a quarter, half, you bottom on 350, and out somebody about 3, somebody about 3, somebody about Chris, you're not in, 3, somebody about 4, at 400, we get 4, 3, bottom on 4, we get 4, 3, somebody about here, bottom on 4, you want in, we get 4, at 400, we get 4, 3, somebody about here, bottom on 4, Chris is on, 3, somebody about 4, at 3, somebody about here, bottom on 4, sold at number 3, somebody 5, 1773. 37.51, 37.51, bull calf here. I think, but I'm 12. He would have been 12, but I would get 12. He would have been 12, 12. He would get 12, 11, 1100 now, quarter, half. He would have been 50, 1150, would get 50, would get 50, would get 50, 75, 11, 75, 75, G's 8, 11, 75, 12. He would have been 12, 12. He would get 12, he would get 12, 11, 75, he would have been 12, 11, 75, he would have been 12, he would get 12, 12, now, quarter, 12, 12 and a quarter, he would get 12 and a quarter, 12 and a quarter, 10, 20, he would get 12, 20. He's on. He would have been 12, 20, 30, he would have been 30, 40, he would get 12, 40, 12, 40, 12, 40, but about 40, would get 40, 50, but about 12, 50, 60, 12, 60, would get 60, would get 60, would get 60, would get 60, 12, 50, but about 60, would get 60, would get 60, 12, 50, but about 60, 12, 60, sold at number 12, 50, 10, 31. Yeah, 38.03, bull calf 5 here, but I'm on 5, he would have on 5, but I'm on 5, he would have on 5, he would have on 5, he would get 5, 3, but I'm on 3, 300, but I'm on 3, would get 3, would get 3, would get 3, 2, but about $200 now, but about 2, quarter, 2 and a quarter, 200 now, quarter, but about 2 and a quarter, now 2 and a quarter, 2 and a quarter, GJ 2 and a quarter, 2 and a quarter, but I'm on 2 and a quarter, but I get 225, 50, 250, somebody 5, 2, somebody 5, somebody 5, 3, but I'm on 3, 2, somebody 5, but I'm on 3, would get 3, would get 3, Chris is on, 2, somebody 5, but I'm on 3, 2, somebody 5, but I'm on 3, sold. Number 2, somebody about too late, Tim. Put him on 1773. Yeah, 38.87, bull calf. Retain, but about 1,000. Anybody get but about 1,000? Anybody get 1,000? Anybody get 10? But about 1,000? Anybody get 1,000? 1,000? Anybody get 1,000? Anybody get 900? Anybody get 9? Anybody get 9 quarter? 90. But about 9 a quarter. 90. Anybody get 9 quarter? Anybody get 925? 925. 25. But about 925. 50. 950. Somebody 5. 9. Somebody 5. 9. Somebody 5. Somebody 5. Here. Anybody get 1,000? Now quarter. But about 10. Anybody get 10 a quarter? Anybody get 10 a quarter? Half. What about 10? 50. Somebody 5. Here. Anybody get 10. 75. 10. 50. Anybody get 10. Somebody 5. Here. Anybody get 10. Somebody 5. 10. Somebody 5. 10. Somebody 5. Sold at over 10. 50. 40 on 2, 40 on 2. At 39.43. 39.43, bull calf, 1,100, everybody 11, 11, everybody 11, everybody 11 now, quarter, 11, everybody 11 a quarter, everybody 11 a quarter, 11, 11 a quarter, half, you put them on 50, 11, 50, everybody get 50, everybody get 50, everybody get 50, somebody 5, somebody 5, somebody 5, 11, 75, 60, now 70, 11, 70, 11, 60, now 70, everybody get 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 11, 70, 11, 70, everybody get 70, everybody get 70, everybody get 70, sold at number 11, 60, 10, 31. Yeah, 38.07, bull calf, 38.07, bull calf, retain, but about 7, so anybody gets 5, people about 5, people about 5, 3, 300, but about 3, everybody get 3, everybody get 3, everybody get 3, 2, but about 200, everybody get 2, 2, everybody get 2, 2, everybody get 2, 2, everybody get 200, but about 1, have 1 here, now quarter, 1, but about 1 a quarter, half, but about 150, 75, 175, Brandon, 175, now 2, 200, now quarter, 2 and a quarter, half, but about 250, 250, everybody get 50, everybody get 50, everybody get 250, 75, 275, 275, now 3, 300, now quarter, 3 and a quarter, everybody get 3 and a quarter, Tim's on here, but about 3 and a quarter, 3 and a quarter, everybody get 3 and a quarter, everybody get 3 and a quarter, everybody get 3 and a quarter, 3 and a quarter, everybody get 3 and a quarter, half, here, but about 350, Tim, here, but about 350, 350, everybody get 350, Tim, here, but about 350, 350, everybody get 350, floors on, 3 and a quarter, half, here, but about 3 and a half, everybody get 3 and a half, everybody get 3 and a half, 3 and a half, everybody get 3 and a half, sold at over 3 and a quarter, 1864. 36.43, bull calf, 36.43 on the bull calf. Right hand, bottom 9, everybody get 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 9, 7, 7, everybody get 7, 7, everybody get 7, everybody get 7, everybody get 5 here, bottom on 5, 5 here, bottom on 5, here, bottom on 5, here, bottom on 5, everybody get 5, 3, 3, 3, 3, bottom on 3, everybody get 3, everybody get 2, 200 now, quarter, now half, somebody 5, 2, somebody 5, 3, now quarter, half, here, bottom on 3, 50, somebody 5, 3, somebody 5, 4, everybody get 4, everybody get 4, everybody get 400 now, quarter, half, here, bottom on 4 and a half, somebody 5, 4, somebody 5, 4, somebody 5, here, everybody get 4, somebody 5, 4, somebody 5, 4, somebody 5, 5, here, bottom on 500 now, quarter, 5 and a quarter, half, 5 and a half, somebody 5, 5, somebody 5, here, everybody get 5, somebody 5, 5, somebody 5, here, everybody get 5, somebody 5, 550, everybody get 5, somebody 5, here, everybody get 5, 75, 575, sold November 550, 5537, 5537. Yeah, 36-32 heifer, 36-32 on a heifer here, right there. Here we go in this scenario, about 13, we get 12, 1200 now quarter, 12 here, we get 12 and a quarter, 12 and a quarter, we get 12 and a quarter, we get 12 and a quarter half, here about 50, 75, 12, 75, 13 the quarter, we get 13 and a quarter half, and now 75, 13, 75 to 14, 14 and a quarter, 14 and a quarter, 14 and a quarter, 14, we get 14, we get 14 and a quarter, 14, we get 14 and a quarter, sold at over 1400, 40 on 20. 36-31, bull calf, 36-31 on the bull calf, 15, 100 everybody on 15, you say 15, and now a quarter, everybody get 15, a quarter, everybody get 15, a quarter, at 15, everybody get 15, a quarter, your money, everybody get 15, a quarter, 15, everybody get 15, a quarter, everybody get 15, a quarter, at $1,500 now, quarter, everybody get 15, everybody get 15, a quarter, 15, a quarter, sold at over 1,550, 861. Yeah, 3804 heifer, 3804 on the heifer here. Right here, but about 3, but about 3, we get 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 200, but about 2, 2, but about 2, we get 2, we get 2, we get 2, we get 200, here, but about 1, at 1 here, but about 1 here, but about 1 quarter, 1 here, but about 1 a quarter half, here, but about 150, 75, 175, Brandon, 175, 2, but about 200 now, quarter half, here, but about 250, 250, we get 250, we get 250, 75, 275, Brandon here, we get 275, Tim's on here, but about 275, here, we get 275, Brandon, 275. Here now, 300, and what about 3? Tim here, got to be 3. 300, everybody get 3, quarter, 3 and a quarter, 3 and a quarter, 3 and a quarter. 300 now, quarter, 300 now, quarter, what about 3 and a quarter, 3 and a quarter. 3 and a quarter, Tim, you're on 3 and a quarter, 3 and a quarter, what about 3 and a quarter, everybody get 3 and a quarter. 300 now, quarter, what about 3, everybody get 3 and a quarter, 3 and a quarter. Sold it over 300, Tim's way. 89.11, 89.11. 38.92. 38.92 on the bull calf, 38.92 on the bull calf here, but I'm on 12, here, but I'm on 12, and everybody get 12, everybody get 12, 11, 1100, everybody get 11, everybody get 1100, everybody get 11, everybody get about 1,000, everybody get 10, but about 10, everybody get 1,000, everybody get 10, but about 1,000, everybody get 900, 9 here, but about 9, here, everybody get 9, 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 8, here, everybody get 800, everybody get 86, here, everybody get 60, everybody get 60, everybody get 5, hit 5 here, but about 5, 2, down, but about 2, everybody get 200, but about 2, quarter half, here, but about 250, somebody 5, and now 3, now quarter, but about 3 and a quarter half, and what about 350, 350, everybody get 350, we get 350, 350, but I'm on 50, 75, down 4, but I'm at 4, 3, somebody about 4, now quarter half, here, but I'm at 4 and a half, 75, 4, somebody about, here, we get 4, somebody about 5, here, but I'm at 5, and now quarter, at 5, here, we get 5 and a quarter, at 5 and a quarter, everybody get $500 now, quarter, everybody get $500 now, quarter, everybody get 5, here, we get 5 and a quarter, half, here, but I'm on 550, at 550, we get 550, we get 550, we get 550, we get 550, 550, sold it over 5 and a quarter, 1864. Yeah, 36-39, bull calf, 36-39 on the bull calf. Right here we go on the scenario, but I'm on 7, so everybody get 7, everybody get 700, everybody get 7, so everybody get 7, everybody get 5, hit 5, here but I'm on 5, here but I'm on 5, here everybody get 5, here but I'm on 5, here everybody get 5, here but I'm on 5, here everybody get 5, 3, but I'm on 3, everybody get 3, everybody get 3, everybody get 3, everybody get 3, 2, 200, but I'm on 200 here, but I'm at 1, but I'm at 1, but I get 1, quarter, 1 a quarter, now half, 75, down 2, 200, everybody get 2, everybody get 2, everybody get 2, quarter, half, here but I'm at 250, 75, 275, 3, but I'm on 3, everybody get 3, everybody get 3, everybody get 3, everybody get 3, 300, but I'm on 3, everybody get 300, but I'm on 3, quarter, but I'm at 3 and a quarter half, at 350, but I'm on 50, we get 50, we get 50, something about 3, something about 4, we get 4, we get 4, we get 4, and now quarter, 4 and a quarter half, here, but I'm at 450, at 450, we get 50, we get 50, we get 450, at 450, we get 50, we get 50, we get 50, we get 450, sold it over 4 and a quarter, 1250. 36-18 bull calf, 36-18 on the bull calf. Right here, but I'm at 12. Here, but I'm at 12. But everybody get 12 quarter. 12 quarter half. Here, but I'm at 12.50. 12.50. We get 50. We get 50. We get 50. We get 12.50. 12.50. We get 12.50. We get 50. We get 50. We get 50. Sold at over 12.25. 40 on 1. Yeah, 38.88 bull calf here. 38.88 on the bull calf. 12 here, but I'm at 12. Everybody get 12 quarter, but I'm at 12 here. Everybody get 12 and a quarter. 12 here, everybody get 12 and a quarter. 12 here, everybody get 12 and a quarter. 12 and a quarter, everybody get 12 and a quarter. 12 and a quarter. 12 and a quarter half here, but I'm at 12.50. 12.50. 75. 12.75. Everybody get 75. 12.75. 12.75. Everybody get 12. 60. 70. Everybody get 12.70 now. 80. Everybody get 80. Everybody get 80. 90. Everybody get 12. 90. Everybody get 90. Everybody get 90. 12.90 now. 13. 13. But about 13. You say 13. 10. 10. Tip on about 10. Everybody get 13. 10. 13, 10, 13, 13, 10, 13, 13, 10. Sold at over 1,300. 40 on 1. 36, 38. 36-38, bull calf, right there, everybody 11, everybody 1100, everybody 11, 11, everybody 11, everybody 11, 11, everybody 11, everybody 11, everybody 1100, everybody 11, everybody 1000, what about $10 now, quarter, what about 10, everybody 10, everybody 10, a quarter, half, what about 10, 50, 75, 10, 75, 11 here, everybody 11, 11, and now quarter, 11 a quarter, half, here, what about 50, 11, 50, and now 75, 11, 75, 75, down 12 here, what about 12, 12 here, what about 12, here, what about 12, here, everybody get 12, 11, 75, here, what about 12, you want to, everybody get 12, 11, 75, here, what about 12, here, everybody get 12, here, everybody get 12, sold at every 11, 75, 40 on 1. 34-37, bull calf, 34-37 on the bull calf, here, everybody 1100, 11, everybody 11, everybody 11, everybody 1100, everybody 11, and now quarter, 11, everybody 11 a quarter, 11, 25, 50, everybody get 50, everybody get 50, 75, 11, 75, down 12, here, everybody 12, 12 here, now quarter, everybody 12, here, everybody get 12 and a quarter, 1200, everybody get 12 and a quarter, 12 here, everybody get 12 and a quarter, everybody get 12 and a quarter, 12 here, everybody get 12, everybody get 12 and a quarter, sold at every 1210, 3-1. Yeah, 36-42, bull calf, 36-42 on the bull calf here. Right, about 1,000. Everybody get about 1,000. Everybody get 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 900. Everybody get 9. 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 8. At 800. Everybody get 8. Everybody get 8. Everybody get 8. Everybody get 8. 7. Everybody get 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 5 here. What about 5? Here 500. What about 5? Here what about 5? 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. What about 3? 3. What about 3? 2. 2. What about 2? Quarter. What about 2 and a quarter half? Here what about 250? Something about 2. Something about 3. 3 now quarter half. Here what about 350? 350. Something about 3. Something about 10. Down 4. What about 4? Everybody get 4 and a quarter. 4 and a quarter. Everybody get 4 and a quarter half. Hit 4 and a half. 4 and a half. 4 and a half. Somebody 5. 4. Somebody about 5. Here what about 5? Here what about 5? Hit 5 here. What about 5 now? Quarter. 10. 5 and a quarter. Hit 5 and a quarter. 5 and a quarter half. Here what about 550? Hit 550. Everybody get 50. Everybody get 50. Everybody get 550. Hit 550. Everybody get 550. Everybody get 550. 550. Everybody get 550. Everybody get 550. Everybody get 550. Sold at over 5 and a quarter. Tim's way. Put them on 89.11. 89.11. Yeah, 40-31, bull calf, 40-31 on the bull calf. Right here, but about 12, here, but about 12, here, but 12, quarter, but about 12, 12 and a quarter, half. 12.50, somebody 5 here, but about 12, somebody about 13, 13, 13, 13, 13 a quarter, 13 a quarter, everybody get 13, 13 a quarter, 13, 13 a quarter, 13, everybody get 13 a quarter, everybody get 13 a quarter, sold at over 1,300, put them on 40 on 1. 36-41, bull calf, 36-41 on the bull calf. Here we go. Right here, but about 1,000. Everybody get there, but about 1,000. Everybody get 1,000. Everybody get there, but about 1,000. Everybody get 1,000. Everybody get 900. At 9 here, everybody get 9. Here, everybody get 9. Everybody get 9. Everybody get 9. Everybody get 9. 8. Here, everybody get 800. Everybody get 8. Everybody get 8. 6. Here, everybody get 6. Everybody get 6. Everybody get 5. Hit 5 here, but about 5. Here, but about 5. Here, but about 5. 5 here now quarter. At 500 now quarter. Everybody get 5 here. Everybody get 5 and a quarter. 5 and a quarter. Everybody get 5 and a quarter. At 5 and a quarter. Half. 5 and a half. 75 down 6. Now quarter. Half here, but about 6 and a half. 75 here. Everybody get 6 and a now 7. And now quarter. 7 and a quarter. 7 and a quarter. 7 and a quarter. Half here, but about 7 and a half. And 7 and a half, everybody get 7 and a half, everybody get 7 and a half, 7 and a half, everybody get 7 and a half, everybody get 7 and a half, everybody get 7 and a half, 7 and a half, everybody get 7 and a half, everybody get 7 and a half, sold at every 7 and a quarter, 10, 31. Yeah, 36-40 heifer, 36-40 on the heifer. Right here we go, but about 12, here, but about 12, and everybody get 12, here, but about 12, here, everybody get 12, here, everybody get 12, here, but about 12, everybody get 12 on the heifer, here, everybody get 12, and 12, everybody get 12, everybody get 12, everybody get 1,000, but about 10, everybody get 1,000 on a quarter, but about 10, everybody get 10, everybody get 10 a quarter, everybody get 10 a quarter, at 10, 10 a quarter, everybody get 10 a quarter, 10, but about 10 a quarter, everybody get 10 a quarter, you want everybody get 10 a quarter, 10 a quarter, 10, 25, 50, 10, 50, everybody get 50, somebody about 10, somebody about here, everybody 11, at out quarter, 11 a quarter, 11 a quarter, everybody 11 a quarter, 1,100 on a quarter, everybody 11, everybody 11 a quarter, sold at every 1,100, 40 on 5. 40-30 bull calf, 40-30 on the bull calf, 1,100, everybody 11, everybody 11 and a quarter, 11 and a quarter, everybody 11 and a quarter, 11 and a quarter, everybody 11 and a quarter, half, here, but about 50, 11, 50, everybody get 50, everybody get 50, 75, 11, 75, 75, 75, 11, 75, 11, 50, 75, 75, here, everybody 11, 75, 11, 50, everybody 11, 75, 11, 75, sold at every 11, 50, 90, 100. 36-19, bull calf, 36-19 on the bull calf, right here. Here we go, listen right here, about 1,000. But about 1,000, everybody get 1,000. Everybody get there, but about 1,000, everybody get 1,000. Everybody get 900. 9 here, everybody get 9, 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 8. Here, everybody get 800 now, quarter. Everybody get 8, here, everybody get 8 and a quarter. At 8, 25, 25 today, but about everybody get 50, everybody get 50, somebody 5, 8, somebody 5, here, everybody get 9, everybody get 9, everybody get 9, quarter, 9 and a quarter, half. Here, but about 50, 9, 50, somebody 5, and now 1,000. Everybody get about 1,000 now, quarter, half. Here, but about 10, 50, somebody 5, 10, somebody 5, here, now 11. 1,100 now, quarter, 11 quarter, everybody 11. 25, 11, 25, 25, here we go, 11, 25, 1,100 now, 25, here we go, 11, 25, sold at every 1,110, 31. 38.82 heifer, 38.82 on a heifer here. Right here, 12 here, but I'm on 12, and everybody get 12. 12 here, but I'm on 12 here, but I'm on 12, everybody get 12, everybody get 12, 11 here, everybody get 1100, everybody get 1,000. On thunder, but I'm on thunder, everybody get 1,000, everybody get 10, but I'm on thunder, everybody get 1,000, everybody get 1,000, everybody get 1,000, everybody get 800. 1,000 here, now quarter, down, but I'm on quarter, everybody get 10 a quarter, everybody get 10, 10 a quarter, but I'm on 10 a quarter. 10, 10 a quarter, everybody get 10 a quarter, 10, 25, you want everybody get 10, 25, 50. 10, 50, everybody get 50, everybody get 50, everybody get 50, somebody about 10, somebody about 11, everybody get 1100 now, quarter, 11, quarter, 11, everybody get 11, 25, 50. 1150, 75, 1175, 75, 75, 1175. Sold at every 1150. 40 on 5, 40 on 5. 40, 29. Bull calf, 40, 29. Bull calf, 1100. Everybody 11. 1100 now quarter. 11 quarter now half. You put them 50, 75 now 12. You put them 12, 12 now quarter half. You put them 12, 50. 12, 50. Everybody get 50, everybody get 50. 12, 30, 40, 40. Everybody get 40, 50. Everybody get 12, 50. Everybody get 50, everybody get 50. Everybody get 50, 60. 12, 60 now somebody. Everybody get 12, 7. Everybody get somebody now 80. Everybody get 80, 90. Everybody get 12, 90. 12, 90 now 13, 13, 13, 10, 10, 10. Put them on 10. Everybody get 13, 10, 10, 10. Sold at every 1300. 40 on 1. 34, 36, bull calf, 34, 36 on the bull calf, 12, here would have been 1,200 now, quarter, now half, here would have been 12, 50, 75, here would have got 12, 75, now 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, but about 13, now 13, but about 13, 10, 13, 10, 10, 10, but about 10, would have got 13, 10, 13, 10, 10, 10, would have got 10, sold at over 1,300, 10, 31. 42.06 bull calf, 42.06 on the bull calf here at the bottom on 6. Here we get 60, we get 60, we get 60, we get 4. And 4 here, bottom on 4. We get 4, we get 4, we get 4, we get 4, we get 400, we get 4, 3, 3, 3, 3, bottom on 3, 2. $200 now quarter, and bottom on 2, 2 and a quarter, bottom on 2 and a quarter. 2, 2 and a quarter, bottom on 2, we get 2 and a quarter, we get 2 and a quarter. 2, 2 and a quarter, we get 2 and a quarter, half. Here bottom on 250. 250, we get 50, we get 50 right there. 2 and a quarter, 2 and a half. Here bottom on 2 and a half. Here bottom on 2 and a half. 2 and a half. Here we get 2 and a half. 75. Here bottom on 2, 75, 2, 75, 3, 3. 3, 3, 3, bottom on 3. $300, everybody get 3, 3, 3, 3, bottom on 3. Bottom on 3, everybody get 3, everybody get 3, everybody get 3. Sold at over 275, 1864. 36.48 bull calf, 36.48 on the bull calf here, but I'm in 12. Here, but I'm in 12. Everybody get 12. Everybody get 12. 12. Everybody get 12. 11. At there, everybody get 11. Everybody get 1,000. Quarter. But I'm in 10. Everybody get 10. A quarter. Everybody get 10. A quarter. 10. 10. A quarter. Half. Here, but I'm on 50. Everybody get 10. 50. 75. Here, everybody get 10. 75. 11. 1100 now. Quarter. 11. A quarter. 11. A quarter. But I'm on quarter. Half. Here, but I'm on 50. 11. 50. Everybody get 50. Everybody get 50. Everybody get 50. 11. 25. There, but I'm on 50. Everybody get 50. Everybody get 50. Everybody get 50. Everybody get 50. Sold at over 11. 25. 10. 3. 1. Yeah, 39.09 heifer, 39.09 on the heifer right here. At the on 8, here we give 800, everybody give 8. At 8, here we give 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 8, 6. Here we on 6, here we give 6, here we give 6, here we give 6, here we give 5. Here 5, here we on 5, here we on 5, here we give 5, 4, but on 4, we give 4, we give 4, we give 3, 3, 3, 3, but on 300, here we give 3. 3, 3 quarter, 3, 3 and a quarter half. Here we on 350, somebody 5, here we on 3, somebody 5, 3, somebody 5, 4, but on 4, we give 4, we give 4, now quarter. 4 and a quarter half. Here we on 450, somebody 5, 4, somebody 5, here we on 5. Down quarter, 5 and a quarter, half. At 550, somebody 5, somebody 5, here we get 5, somebody 6, here we get 6, here we get 6, Tim, here we gotta be 6. At 6, here we get 6, here we get 6, 5, somebody 5, here we get 6, Tim, you're out here, but I'm on 6. At 5, somebody 5, here but I'm on 6, 5, somebody 5, here but I'm on 6, here we get 6, here we get 6, sold it over 5, somebody 5, 18, 64. 39.10, 39.10 bull calf. Here we go, right here, but I'm on, everybody get 12, here but I'm on 12, everybody get 12, everybody get 12, here but I'm on 12, everybody get 12, everybody get 12,000, but I'm on 1,000, everybody get 1,000, everybody get 10, but I'm on 1,000, everybody get 1,000, everybody get 1,000, everybody get 900, everybody get 9, 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 quarter, but I'm on 9, everybody get 9 quarter, 9, everybody get 9 quarter, 9 a quarter, half, here but I'm on 50, 950, 75, 9, 75, everybody get 9 now quarter, but I'm on 10 a quarter, half, now 75, now 11, 1100, now quarter, half, here but I'm on 50, 1150, 1125, here but I'm on 50, everybody get 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 50, sold at over 1125, 10, 31. 36.20 bull calf, 36.20 bull calf here, $1,100 everybody 11, $1,100 everybody 11, everybody 1,100 everybody 11, $1,100 everybody 11, and now quarter, 11 a quarter, but I'm on 25, 11.25, 25 here, but I'm on 11.25, 11.25, 25, 25, 50, but I'm on 50, somebody about 11, somebody about 12, but I'm at 12, and now quarter, 12 and a quarter, 12 and a quarter, 12 here, everybody get 12 and a quarter, half here, but I'm at 12.50, 75, at 12, somebody about, here, everybody get 12.75, sold at over 12.50, 40 on 1. Yeah, 38.99 bull calf, 38.99 on a bull calf. Here we go. Right there on the snake, but I'm on 8. Everybody give 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 8. 6. Everybody on city. Everybody give 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 5. Hit 5 here. But I'm on 5. Here. But I'm on 5. Here. But I'm on 5. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. But I'm on 3. 3 quarter. $300 quarter half. Here. But I'm on 350. Somebody 5 here. Now 4. Everybody give 4. Everybody give 4. Everybody give 4 and a quarter. 4 and a quarter half. Here. But I'm on 450. Somebody 5. And now 5 here. But I'm on 5. 5 and a quarter half. Here. But I'm on 550. Somebody 5. 5. Somebody 5. 5. Somebody 5. And 550. 5. Somebody 5 here. Everybody give 5. 75. 550. Everybody give 5. Somebody 5 here. Everybody give 5. 75. 550, we get 575, 575, sold at over 550, 1864. 36, 35, 36, 35, bull calf here, right here, everybody get 11, 1100, everybody get 11, 1100 now, quarter, 11, everybody get 11 and a quarter, 11 and a quarter, 11, 11 and a quarter, 11 and a quarter, 11 and a quarter, half, you want 1150, 1150, everybody get 50, everybody get 50, 75, 11, 75, 75, 75, 11, 75, you want in, 11, 75, 12, 12 now, quarter, everybody get 12 and a quarter, 12, 12 and a quarter, half, you want 12, 50, 75, 12, 75, 75, everybody get 12, 75, 12, 75, everybody get 12, 75, yes or no, everybody get 12, 75, 12, 75, sold at over 1250. 8836. 8836. 4028 on the heifer here, blind in one eye. Right there, here we get this in there. Right there, but about 3, 3, 3, but about 3, we get 2. 200 now, quarter, but about 2, 2 and a quarter, but about 2 and a quarter. $200 now, quarter, but about 2, we get 2, we get 2 and a quarter, but about 2 and a quarter, 2 and a quarter, 2 and a quarter. $200 now, quarter, we get 2 and a quarter, we get 2 and a quarter, half. Yeah, but about 250, 75, 10, 2, 75, now 3, 3, 3, now quarter, 3 and a quarter, but about 3 and a quarter, 10, 3 and a quarter, half. 350, 75, yeah, but about 3, 75, 4, we get 4 now, quarter, 4 and a quarter, half. Yeah, but about 450, 450, we get 50, we get 50, we get 50, we get 450. At 450, we get 450, we get 450, 450. Tim's on 4 and a quarter, 450. At 450, we get 50, we get 50, we get 450, we get 450, we get 450, 450. Sold at over 4 and a quarter, Tim's way, 89.11. 3646 bull calf, 3646 on the bull calf, 1100. 11, everybody get 11, everybody get 11, everybody get 1,000. Everybody get 1,000, everybody get 1,000, everybody get 1,000, everybody get 1,000, everybody get 900. 9 here, everybody get 9, 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 8. Here, everybody get 8, here, everybody get 8, here, everybody get 8, 5 here, but I'm on 5 here, but I'm on 500 now, quarter, 500 now, quarter. Everybody get 5 here, everybody get 5 and a quarter, 5 and a quarter, 5 and a quarter, 5 here, everybody get 5 and a quarter, 500 now, quarter and a half here, but I'm on 50, 75, 5, somebody about 6, everybody get 6 here and a quarter, 6 and a quarter, half here, but about 650. Everybody get 50, 75, 675, 75, everybody get 675, 650 now, 75, everybody get 675, 675, 675, sold it over 650, 10, 31. 4202 heifer. 4202 on a heifer, 500. Here, but I'm on 5. Here, 5. Here, but I'm on 5. Here, but I'm on 5. Here, but I get 5. 3, 3, 3, 3. But I'm on 3. But I get 300. I'm going to get 3. 3, 3, 2. 200. I'm going to get 2. Quarter. 2 and a quarter. But I'm on quarter. Half. Here, but I'm on 250. Somebody 5. Here, but I get 2. Somebody 5. 2. Somebody 5. 2. Somebody 5. 3, 3, 3. Quarter. Half. Here, but I'm on 350. Somebody 5. And now 4. 400. Now quarter. 4 and a quarter. Half. Here, but I'm on 450. Somebody 5. Hit 4. Somebody 5. 4. Somebody 5. 4. Somebody 5. 450. But I get 475. Hit 450. But I get 4. Somebody 5. Here, but I get 4. Somebody 5. 475. 4, somebody on here now 5. Here, but I'm on 5. Here, but I'm on 5. Everybody get 5, 5 quarter. Everybody get 5 and a quarter, 5 and a quarter, half, 5 and a half. Somebody 5 down 6. That's 6 here. Everybody get 6. Everybody get 6. 5. Somebody 5. Here, everybody get 6. 5. Somebody 5. Here, everybody get 6. Everybody get 6. Everybody get 6. Sold it over 5. Somebody 5. Number 8. 3625 heifer, 3625 on a heifer here. 2, but I'm on 200. Everybody get 2. 2, everybody get 2. Everybody get 2. Everybody get 200. Everybody get 2. Everybody get 2. Everybody get 200. Everybody get 2. 2, 2, everybody get 2. 2, everybody get 200. Here, but I'm at 1. Hit 1 here, but I'm at 1. Here, but I'm at 1 quarter. 1 here, but I'm at 1 a quarter. 1 a quarter half. Here, but I'm at 150. Somebody 5. 1, somebody 5 here. Now 2. Everybody get 2. Everybody get 2. Everybody get 2 quarter. 2 and a quarter. Now half. 2 and a half. 2 and a half. Somebody 5. 2, somebody 5 here. Everybody get 2. Somebody 5. 3. 300. Everybody get 3. Everybody get 3. Everybody get 3. Everybody get 3. 2, somebody 5 here, but I'm on 3. Chris is on. 2, somebody 5 here, but I'm on 3. Internet, you're out here, but I'm on 3. 2, somebody 5 here, but I'm on 3. Everybody get 3. Everybody get 3. 2, somebody 5 here, but I'm on 3. Sold it over 2, somebody 5. 1773. 3625 bull calf, 3626. 3626 bull calf. Right there. Here we go on this one. Right there, but about 1,000. Everybody get 10, but about 1,000. Everybody get 1,000. Everybody get 10, but about 1,000. Everybody get 1,000. Everybody get 1,000. Everybody get 1,900. 9 here, quarter. 9 a quarter, half. Yeah, but about 50. 950. Everybody get 50. Everybody get 50. Everybody get 75. 9, somebody 5. Everybody get 1,000. Now quarter. 10 a quarter. 10 a quarter, half. Yeah, but about 10, 50. Somebody 5. 10, 75. Now 11. 11 now quarter. 11 a quarter. 11 a quarter. 11 a quarter. Everybody get 11, 25. 11, 25. 25, 50. Everybody get 50. Everybody get 50. Everybody get 50. Somebody 5. 11, 75. 11, somebody 5. Somebody 5 here. Now 12. Here, but I'm 12. Everybody get 12. 11, somebody 5 here, but I'm on 12. 11, somebody 5 here, but I'm on 12. Everybody get 12. Everybody get 12. Everybody get 12. Sold it over 11, somebody 5. 40 on 1. 36.44 heifer, 36.44 on the heifer here. At him, but about 1,000. Everybody get time, but about 1,000. Everybody get 1,000. Everybody get 1,000. Everybody get 800. At 8 here, everybody get 8. Everybody get 800. Everybody get 8. Everybody get 8. Everybody get 8. 7. Everybody get 7. Everybody get 7. Everybody get 7. Everybody get 6. Everybody get 6. Now quarter. 600. Now quarter. 6 here. 6 and a quarter half. Here, but about 6 and a half. 7.5. 6.5. Everybody get 6.5. Now 7 and now quarter. Now half. Here, but about 7 and a half. 7 and a half. Everybody get 7 and a half. 7 and a half. Everybody get 7 and a half. 7 and a half. 7 and a half. Everybody get 7 and a half. Everybody get 7 and a half. Everybody get 7 and a half. 7 and a quarter. 7 and a half. That's 7 and a half. 7 and a half. Everybody get 7 and a half. 7 and a half. 7.5. Everybody get 7. 7.5. That's 7.5. 8. Everybody get 8. Everybody get 8. Everybody get 8. 7.5. Everybody get 8. That's 7.5. Everybody get 8. 7.5. Everybody get 8. 7.5. Everybody get 8. Everybody get 8. Everybody get 8. Sold November 775. 5137. 38, 32, heifer, 38, 32 on a heifer, right here, bottom on 6. 6, bottom on 6, everybody get 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 4, bottom on 4, everybody get 4, everybody get 4, everybody get 4, everybody get 4. And 4 here, bottom on 4, everybody get 3, 3, 3, bottom on 300, everybody get 3, 3, 3, 3, bottom on 3, everybody get 3, everybody get 3, everybody get 3, everybody get 2. 200 now, 2, 2, bottom on 2, 2, 2, quarter, bottom on 2, 2 and a quarter, 2 and a quarter half, here, bottom on 250, 250, something about, here, bottom on 2, something about 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, now quarter, 3 and a quarter half, here, bottom on 350, 350, bottom on 50, everybody get 50, everybody get 350. 350, everybody get 50, everybody get 50, everybody get 50, 325 here, but I'm on 350. 350, everybody get 50, everybody get 50, everybody get 50, but I'm on 350. 350, everybody get 350, one in, everybody get 350, everybody get 350. Sold at number 325, 1629. Yeah, 3,900. No, 3,900 here. On the bull calf here, right here, but I'm on 12 here, but I'm on 12 here, but I get 12 here, but I'm on 12 here, but I get 12 quarter, but I'm at 12 here, but I get 12 and a quarter, 12 and a quarter half here, but I'm at 12, 50, 75, 12, 75, 75 here, 13, 13, 13, 13 and a quarter, 13 and a quarter, 13, 13 and a quarter, 13, but I get 13, but I get 13 and a quarter, 13 and a quarter, sold at over 1,300, 40 on 1. 3907 bull calf, 3907 on the bull calf. Right here we go. Name bottom on 3, 3, 3, 3, bottom on 3, 300, bottom on 3, we get 3, we get 3, we get 3, 2, 2, bottom on 2, we get 200, we get 2, 2, 2, quarter, 2, bottom on 2 and a quarter, 2, 2 and a quarter half, yeah, bottom on 250, we get 50, we get 50, we get 50, we get 250, someone 250, 250, we get 250, 75, down 3, 3, 3, 3, quarter, 3 and a quarter, 3 and a quarter, $300 now, quarter, we get 3, 3 and a quarter, bottom on 3 and a quarter, 3, 3 and a quarter, $300 now, quarter, we get 3 and a quarter, 3, 3 and a quarter, 3, bottom on 3 and a quarter, we get 3 and a quarter, 3907, 3, 3 and a quarter, 3, bottom on 3 and a quarter, we get 3 and a quarter, 3, 3 and a quarter, bottom on 3 and a quarter, half, here, bottom on 350, 350, we get 50, we get 50, we get 350, 350, we get 350, 350, 350, 75, 375, sir, 375, 375, 350, we get 375, here, bottom on 375, sold at over 350, put them on, what is that, 8854, is that right? 8854.